Hello everyone and welcome to Living Life Loudly 1, brought to you every day on YouTube, hopefully every day. I don't know how much this editing is going to take, so yeah, I'll try to be fast. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, some of the goals that I have for this vlog show and other such funsies, as well as my opportunity to live with Husky when I go down to LA in a little bit, and I need to vent a little bit about WCG Ultimate Gamer because I do something and it really makes me angry. Okay, so, about me. My name is Joseph. I live in Oregon currently, same place Husky did. And I am just finishing up my bachelor's in business administration. I have like 5 weeks left and I'll be done. 5 weeks. 5 weeks and I'm done. So, after that, I am planning on moving to LA and pursuing acting full-time. Acting, you say? It's kind of a weird choice, especially for a business major. Well, this is how it went down. So, I was in the Marines. I got out after 4 years, and I have the GI Bill. So I'm like, okay, makes sense to go to school after that. So, I've always been interested in business, kind of the business mindset and the mentality and all the strategic stuff, and kind of how it's a competition between you and other people, if you break it down the way I do. So, I went to business school, community college, got an associate's degree. That's where I met Husky. And then I went to a 4-year school, and I'm just finishing up getting my bachelor's. During this time, I started taking acting on the side, and I realized that I really, really loved acting. And while business feels like work, acting, while incredibly time-consuming and difficult, feels amazing. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun. It feels like play, and I love playing. Probably why I'm an avid gamer, too. So, I'm going to go to LA and try to become successful acting. So that's the main purpose of this show, is going to be to bring you guys along with me for the ride, seeing all the highs and lows, the ups and downs, all the ins and outs and everything. I'll try to film as much of the interviews and meeting people and auditions and everything else that I can, and I'll vlog about the rest. So you'll hopefully get a good overall idea of what's going on down there. Now, what makes this awesome is because, like I said, I am friends with the infamous, or just the famous, right? The famous Husky StarCraft. If you don't know about him, you can check him out at Husky StarCraft on YouTube. And he's a really, really, really cool guy. So I'm going to be moving in with him when I go down there, and he's going to be doing YouTube stuff, casting, StarCraft 2 matches, and traveling all over the places, doing Major League Gaming and all that other good stuff. And I'm going to be doing acting, but it's just going to be really fun to live with him, and I think it's going to be a great time. I mean, we're already buddies, and we already hung out a decent amount, but he's in LA, and alas, I'm still here in Oregon, the greener state, for a little bit longer until I finish up my degree. Then I'm going to be moving down. I will be at BlizzCon, hanging out with Husky, and it should be a really good time. So, I already told you why acting. I already told you I'm a business major. I'm going to talk a little bit, just a little bit, about WCG Ultimate Gamer. I don't know how much of you actually watch this show, but I watch it. I started watching it a little bit late. I watched Season 1 all the way through just instantly because I watched the Day 9 Daily quite frequently, and a while ago, I don't know which episode it was, you can tell me in the comments if you'd like, but Day 9 talks about how Jeff Robinson, his good buddy in real life, a.k.a. In Control, was on WCG Ultimate Gamer. Well, I recently met him again. I met him at BlizzCon last year, but I met him at the midnight release of StarCraft 2, which I went to with Husky as well. And he's a really cool guy, and we were talking about WCG Ultimate Gamer and just how life-changing an experience it was, how many great opportunities it was, and just how cool. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to check it out. So I watched WCG Ultimate Gamer Season 1 all the way through in like a day, because that's how I roll. And don't tell me you haven't done that. Don't tell me you haven't found a season of something that you thought was interesting and just sat down and just ran through the whole season. I know you've done it. I do it all the time. Guilty as charged. Between my binge StarCraft 2 and that, and my business school, that's pretty much consumes my whole day, except for sleep and eating. It's a good life. I can't complain. Alright, so back to WCG. Watching Season 1, I was pretty into it. Season 2, still pretty into it, except this little thing that they've been doing all through Season 1 and through Season 2 really, really bugs me. Really bugs me. And I don't know if it's just what the host decided to do or if it's written in. I'm sure the producers and the directors have had some say on this. But They string you along. They're such teases on that show, like worse than other shows I've seen by far. This is what they'll do. I'll give you an example. And if you haven't seen the show, then you're in for a treat. And if you have seen the show, you probably already know what I'm going to say. All right, this is what they do. They say, okay, at the end of a challenge, they'll say, and the winner of the challenge is... And then they cut to commercial break. They cut to commercial break, and you're like, who is it? I know it's usually between one or two people, because you've already hinted at that during the actual playing of the game. So who is it? And they cut to commercial, and then you get back from the commercial, and they have to give you a 30-second review of what you just saw, like 30 seconds before, because it's about how long a commercial is on the interwebs. And you're like, really? I already know this. Just get to the point already. And then they go through it again. The winner is... And then they tell you, and you're like, I knew it. I knew it. Why did you have to string that out, right? And everybody's like, oh, good job, man. You're awesome. He's like, well, you know, what can I do? All right, I'm pretty good. And then they go through second place, third place, fourth place the same way. And then they get down to the final, and this is like 3 minutes, right? They get down to the final two, and they're like, and the loser, and up for elimination, is... And then they cut to commercial again. And you're like, wow. So it's a 3-minute clip of them just listing names, and then commercial again, and then they come back, and what do? They whip out the old trusty playbook, which is kind of like this piece of paper. I said playbook. Yeah, it's book. And this is what they do. They say, and the loser is... And then they tell you, and you're like, finally, that was like 6 minutes that you just wasted with suspense. And since the show is only like 25 minutes long, they're spending like 6 minutes of every episode with suspense type stuff. That's a large chunk of their time that you're just on the edge of your seats, and I just get kind of fed up with it after a while. So I tend to just fast forward all the way through. Sometimes I don't even know. I don't even know who gets it. I just go to the next part. I go to the finals, because you'll find out there. So the final part where they go to Samsung Stadium and battle it out, you already know who it's going to be, because they're sitting right there. And then you just watch it, and it's fine. So I tend to just skip through really, really fast. So I watch a 25-minute episode in like 10 minutes, because I just skip through all the fluff. So I think if they put in more gaming, WCG, if you're out there, not that you listen to me, not that my opinion matters at all, but I am a semi-loyal viewer, and this is my thoughts. More gaming, please. Less suspense. Drives me nuts. And it was kind of cool the first couple of times, and then after that it's just freaking annoying. So, please cut it out. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me here at Living Life Loudly 1. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I'm new at this, and I'm always open to any constructive criticism. Notice I said constructive criticism. Yeah. You get my point. Alright. Check out Husky StarCraft if you haven't already, and please subscribe if it doesn't pain you too terribly much. I will try to have more content loaded all the time. Anyway, thank you guys. I will see you... I was going to say see you next time, but Husky would kill me. So I'll just say laters. Okay, bye.